Sounds quite stupid, but initially it started out just as a challenge.
Yeah.
Because I was like a total carnivore, every meal revolved around meat. I heard about veganuary, I was like, that sounds ridiculous. There's no way I could go a whole month without meat. Done it for the month and I thought like, I feel really good. Like I went back to eating meat and stuff and I just thought, this is disgusting, but this just feels strange. The thing with the pub is just wanted to do veganuary for the month. And it was a little bit of a selfish move just because I missed being able to order from anything for the whole menu, and the response was insane. Like so many vegans supporting it. A fair share of bad comments as well.
Of course.
But then we were fully booked every single day and night. So many supportive comments from people, like we just thought it would make sense. Like me and Mum both vegan, it makes sense to follow our ethics. But yeah, that's 2.5 years ago and it's gone from strength to strength.
Hi Orion.
Hello, Faye.
Thank you for having us here today.
That's right, it's my pleasure.
Lovely. So let's talk a little bit about the Queen's Inn. Now, you were about, what, 6 years old since you've been working here? Or is that legal?
Yeah, so almost 20 years ago, we moved in. My parents took the place on. Yeah, I only started technically working here like 4 or 5 years ago. I did work elsewhere because I hated the thought of working in a pub surrounded by drunk people and stuff like that. But yeah, just before COVID, I started thinking like, like it would be quite nice to work with my parents, and I seen things that I could like affect, and yeah, it'd be nice to have my own little spin on the pub.
Wicked. So when your parents kind of first got this place, when was that, and what was it like in this area around that time, if you can remember that far back?
So yeah, it was back 2004, in June. It was my dad's local because we lived like a minute walk down the road. And yeah, he sort of came home from the pub, half cut one night, and said to my mum, the pub's up for sale, should we have it? And she was like, no, we don't know what we're doing, we have no experience with pubs. And they sort of played with the idea for a couple of weeks and eventually thought, you know what, might as well, they'd be quite fun if nothing else.
How did you become vegan? Did you start off as vegetarian, and what kind of inspired that?
I only went vegan 4.5 years ago, sort of thing. And it sounds quite stupid, but initially it started out just as a challenge. Because I was like a total carnivore, every meal revolved around meat. But I like doing these sort of challenges, and I was one of those sort of guys that would have like a massive bowl of food sort of thing to just test myself sort of thing. And I thought, I heard about veganuary, I was like, that sounds ridiculous. Like, there's no way I could go a whole month without meat. And I thought, like, no, I'll give it a try, see how it goes. So yeah, I done it for the month, and I thought like, I feel really good. Like I went back to eating meat and stuff, and I just thought, this is disgusting, but this just feels strange. And eventually the sort of ethics came into it and started realising the effect on the planet. Over the next couple of months, I started to become lactose intolerant.
Oh, wow.
So that was a real kick in the teeth as well. So that pushed me even more. So yeah, eventually I just turned vegan. Mum turned vegan shortly after as well. Yeah. Interesting.
So were you ever lactose intolerant before? Was that something that came like later in life?
I don't think I've ever noticed it. Maybe I was and just hadn't really clocked on. But yeah, I only noticed it after going vegan, and yeah, after that, sort of caught on.
Wow. Yeah, so like the Queen's Inn now is like, it's done so well, right? I mean, I think Happy Cow's got like 200,000 restaurants, and you've been voted, what, 3rd or 4th best?
Well, yeah, we were voted 4th in the world,
wow.
Which put us at number 1 in Europe.
Wow.
But I checked the rankings like a couple of weeks ago, and we're actually up to 2nd now.
Wow.
We're just behind a place in Vietnam, which is insane.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's amazing.
It's quite surreal, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and for you, when did the menu kind of become vegan, and how has it changed since before that?
So the thing with the pub is I kind of took it similarly to myself, that like just wanted to do veganuary for the month. And it was a little bit of a selfish move just because I missed being able to order from anything for the whole menu, and I just thought January is quite a quiet month, so why not give it a go? Just like if we don't get any customers in, it's only 1 month, which was going to be quiet anyway, so it'd be worth a try. And the response was insane. We announced at end of November 2021 that we were going to go vegan for the January 2022, just for the 1 month. And the response was insane. Like so many vegans supporting it. A fair share of bad comments as well.
Of course.
Abusive meat eaters, but yeah, they're all right. They got brushed under the carpet pretty quickly. So yeah, it was insane. It was really good. It was just for the 1 month. But then we were fully booked every single day and night. So it got to like halfway through January, and we sort of seen what was going on, and we was like, this is outrageous. Like we've never experienced a January like this. So like, what should we do? Should we try it for 1 more month? just see how it goes. And, like after enough sort of discussion and so many supportive comments from people, like we just thought it would make sense. Like me and Mum both vegan. We had other vegans working here by then as well. Like we just thought it makes sense to follow our ethics. If it does go badly after a couple of months, like we can go back to serving meat. Like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 2.5 years ago, and it's gone from strength to strength.
I mean, it's amazing because you were saying even earlier that, you know, you next week Saturday's fully booked up already. And I mean, I know a lot of vegans have kind of come out of their way to make an effort to come here, but are you finding that a lot of the locals and people in the area are still coming here as well, or?
We've started getting more support from locals again. Initially it was just people sort of half an hour away and more. There's the odd couple of vegans living in Cwmbran that have supported us and been like amazed at the fact that they live near a vegan restaurant, which is awesome. But yeah, we're getting more and more of the locals coming in, and so after a couple of drinks, they'll order something from the menu and be amazed. Oh my God, this is incredible. It's really nice. Yeah. Do
you reckon it takes a few pints to get into, you know, give it a go?
Well, taste-wise, no, but to ease their mind into it, yeah, I think it normally takes a couple of pints. But yeah, once people order something on the menu, they're normally amazed with it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, Gary, the cameraman, and I had some, we tried a few of the dishes. I mean, the one that kind of blew me away was the 3D printed steak.
Yeah, really fine meat.
My God, that's quite like mind-blowing for like a vegan. I mean, I remember when it was literally just like Linda McCartney sausages. Yeah. So to come from that to that.
Huge jump, isn't it?
It's crazy.
It's quite perfect for our sort of brand almost, that I think that is quite well designed at meat eaters to sort of give them a vegan option now and again, something a bit more plant-based, which is what we aim for as well as a pub. So yeah, it's nice. It's insanely realistic.
It's really realistic. I was a bit like, ooh, is this all right? Like cutting into it. It feels weird to me, but it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know much about like how that's made and the process? And
yeah, so obviously with it being 3D printed, there's 3 different inks, I guess. One is fat, one's muscle, and one's blood, which sounds so gross. And I've seen them at Plant Based World Expo. I've seen the products themselves, and yeah, it was insane. Having like a little packet with blood in it, which I assume is like mostly beetroot juice and stuff like that, but seeing it blood coloured and it's horrible. But yeah, amazing.
And when you were like putting that on the menu, was that the first was that the first iteration of it, the one we've got now, or has it been in development?
I think there's been a few different versions of it, and it's sort of grown as a product, and they changed the recipe a couple of times. But yeah, it's come along a hell of a way. So
Ryan, I mean, you've been doing this for a while now. Off the menu, like, because it's a pretty huge menu, and you've covered basically everything on there. Yeah. I mean, what are your kind of favourite dishes?
Oh God, so the crispy chili beef is like a huge thing. Like loads of people order crispy chili beef. The steaks are kind of our main event because being a steakhouse or trying to be a plant-based steakhouse, they're going to be like the main event. The Hunter's chicken is a really good pub classic. We got some curries which are amazing. The burgers are really popular. It's quite hard to decide just one thing. Fish and chips is really popular too. Stunning. Nice. And you know, in terms of like how things are going, I mean, the pub's doing really, really well, which is great. One of the things you notice is that it's not like, you're not pushing the vegan message really down anyone's throat. It is just like, I mean, you're a vegan steakhouse, but until you sit down and look at the menu, it's quite nice. You know, it's not like, it feels like it's kind of for everybody. What do you think like the future of like vegan food's going to be, especially in pubs and things like that? So my sort of thinking with it, it wasn't my initial plan at all, but the way I'm sort of seeing it now is that this is what a normal pub should be. Just the everyday pub, but with a cruelty-free menu. Yeah. I think it makes a lot more sense. It's much better long-term for the environment, for the planet we live on. It's a lot less cruel to the animals. I think, it just makes a lot more sense. And I really look forward to seeing some other pubs or other restaurants following similar sort of footsteps. That's great. I mean, how do you find it as well? Because in this area, there's like a really well-renowned sort of steakhouse, isn't there, that's serving animal products. Really popular, yeah. Yeah, and it's doing really well as well. Is there like a friendly rivalry there, or? I don't know if rivalry is the right word. I don't think so. We're quite supportive of them being a successful business. Obviously, ethics are slightly different, but it's good to see another place doing so well. We don't like seeing places shutting down around us. I wouldn't say there's much competition for us in what we do. So yeah, it's just nice to see other places doing well. They have got a good vegan menu as well.
Oh, that's
I've
good.
got to
Yeah,
respect them for that. Yeah, they got a good couple options on there. It's really popular. We try and go up there if we can every couple of months or so.
Yeah.
And support the vegan stuff and what they're doing, sort of thing. It's nice.
No, that's great. And I mean, when you sort of first launched the fully vegan menu, were you a bit concerned just because, after COVID especially, you hear about a lot of businesses and even long established pubs like this one, a lot of them did end up closing. And
yeah.
I mean, was it a big risk? Did you kind of have to sit and talk like to your mum and dad and be like, put a business case for it, or?
Yeah, so it took a while for us to really chat it through. To make the initial jump for veganuary, it started off as a bit of a joke with me and mum, just saying like, it would be really cool. And dad kind of just shut it down the whole time. He just said, like, stupid idea, no, I'm not doing that. I think eventually the final straw was him saying, go on then, we'll see how it goes. We'll entertain it for the 1 month, and yeah, it was really nice.
Decent. I mean, I've seen some of the comments online, like the funniest ones are probably people who've never even been here. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Because you've done well. You've got quite a lot of press, haven't you, already? Yeah. And some of them I was reading, I can't remember if it was like Bristol Live or things like that, and they're talking about it. And a lot of the comments are kind of saying the same things that you always expect, right?
Yeah, it's predictable.
It is. And I mean, I like on the website you've taken that, and even on your merch, you've taken some of your favourite like Facebook quotes, comments, like you'll be closed in a month or something.
Yeah, we still get that now.
Yeah.
We still get it, like even this year after being a vegan restaurant for 2 years, I would still get people saying, it won't last a month. Like, it has.
Yeah, it's doing all right, thanks. No, I think it's great. And I mean, I like the t-shirts as well with the Facebook comments on it and things.
Yeah.
And
well, yeah, we got to be able to laugh about those sort of things.
Yeah.
So it's nice, almost as like a reaction sort of thing. If people say it, I was like, I'll add that to the collection. Yeah. Put that on another t-shirt thing. So it doesn't really faze us. We laugh about it at this point, so it's nice.
No, it's great. I mean, you've got a couple of events, haven't you, as well, coming up as well? I mean, can you tell us a little bit about some of them?
Festival on June 15th. So it'll be a full day of music. We've got some awesome bands lined up. The food vendors as well are insane. Really proud of the vendors we got this year. Amazing. You guys are going to be there as well.
Yeah, we are.
Really cool. Yeah, really excited. We're going to have some more merch coming out for that as well. This is good. Yeah. It's going to be more of like a psychedelic sort of vibe.
Oh, nice.
Really cool. Yeah, we're going to have hopefully 4 new tops, I would have thought. We got some awesome designers working on them, so really cool, really excited.
Nice. Yeah, I like the merch anyway, it's cool. I like the black metal stuff. So.
Yeah, so this was Karis, who's working today. It's her boyfriend. There she goes. Her boyfriend's a tattoo artist, and me and him were sort of bouncing ideas off each other, and this is what we came to because we're both into that sort of style of music. Yeah, really cool. It's got like sort of inspiration from like Lorna Shore style, Bring the Horizon's new logo, that sort of thing. So yeah.
Looks a bit emperor-y as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. So a lot of people see it sort of hanging up. They're like, what does that say? And we're like, it says the Queen in. Oh yeah. Why? Don't worry.
You get quite a lot of vegans who are like into that sort of thing anyway, don't you? So
really good. They are doing well. We've got the same thing on a hoodie and on a beanie as well. So it's really nice to see like people coming in wearing our logo. It's really cool.
That's nice. I mean, it was great. I mean, in terms of food vendors and things that you've got coming up, who's coming along? Anybody like local or? Yeah,
so Vegan Filth are amazing.
Nice.
They're based in Cardiff at the moment. They've got like a food van that'll go to any sort of events through Wales, and they're at Vegan Camp Out, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're smashing it at the moment. They're currently in Cardiff at a place called Sticky Fingers, I think. Yeah, the food's amazing. I went down there 2 weeks ago. Just insane food, really good, filthy vegan food, which is pretty on brand for them.
Beautiful.
Stunning. We've also got Dark Matter, a place from Bristol, brownies, really good stuff. Got Happy Cow, ice cream van, which will be really good. Yeah, really excited.
It's great. It's really taken off as well, and like, yeah. How are people? Are they receptive to it? Have you got a lot of people who've like kind of confirmed that they're going to come along? And
yes, we've. At the moment, tickets are about 60% sold out, which is really good. A lot of the time, it's vegans that are going to be like traveling down for it, but we're getting so many of the locals and stuff saying, "Yeah, really excited for it." Like full day of music, and there's going to be food there as well. They're going to have to try, so yeah, it'll be nice. And the past 2 years we've had the festival, they've always said like how good the food is, and we've got those vegan pizza guys here, which were at the last 2 festivals as well. Those pizzas always go down well, so it's really cool.
Beautiful. With the Queen's Inn being quite famous now, or especially with vegans, have you had any celebrities come in or?
So back last January, we had James Moore coming in, which was a really cool one. Really cool seeing him and his girlfriend in. Yeah, it was really fun. One of my favourite bands is a band called Holden Absence. Okay. And Lucas, the lead singer, has been in a couple of times now. Him and his girlfriend, wife now. Him and his wife, they just got married on the weekend.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome to see them in. Sean Smith from the Blackout.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah.
As well as Snoz the drummer. Neither of them are vegan. Not really much interest in being vegan. They just like good food. So coming here, you get good food, but it's also cruelty free. So
decent.
Sort of ticks both boxes. Yeah, it's really cool.
Nice, yes, a proper like Welsh kind of celebs there. I remember the Blackout back in the olden days when I was young and relevant.
Yeah, I seen them back last month before. They played in Cardiff. Really good gig. Still just as good as they used to be.
Nice. Wicked. I mean, in terms of, when people come in who, like you say, who aren't necessarily vegan, how, and do they ever ask the kind of questions about the food and things, and how do you kind of have those conversations?
Well, we try and be as sort of transparent as we can be with things, with saying like, they'll say, so what's that made from? And it's normally a case of saying wheat, soya, like beetroot, all the usual stuff. And they're always like, oh, right, okay, yeah. And we try and explain why we do what we do without hitting a nerve, which is always quite a fine line to walk. So we often have to say like, it's good for the environment, it's good for your body, all that sort of stuff. It's good for the animals. Yeah. Normally we can talk people into trying the food, and it's usually a very good response as well.
Nice. I mean, you know kind of food and drink, working in the industry. What are some of your kind of like your favourite sort of vegan foods and some of your favourite like beer brands and things like that? Nice.
Juicy Marbles is insane for me. Like I can never get over their products. Tried their ribs, which are ridiculously good. They have like, it's a full rack of ribs with the bones in, and it's just like so hard to wrap your head around. We had a special of them a couple of months ago. We done like a Texan style sort of smokehouse rub with like sweet potato fries, like proper American style, like corn on the cob, collard greens, all that sort of stuff. It was insane, really good. With like a southern style gravy, chicken, amazing.
That is great. I mean, how do they get the bone part? Is that
I think it's mostly soya based. They're edible as well.
Wow.
It's really good for like, you can give them to your dogs, knowing that like that's not from an animal. Really cool. Insane.
That's cool. And in terms of animals as well, you've actually got like a dog menu. I mean, I'm being a bit over the top there, but you've got you've catered for dogs as well, haven't you?
So we are like a pub full of dog lovers.
Yeah.
And even the regulars will sort of come over and make a fuss of the dogs, sort of thing. So it's nice to actually sort of respect the dogs and give them just as much attention as we give sort of customers. It's really nice for them to sort of come up on the seat in and being seen just as another customer, sort of thing. It's really cool. They have like a little blanket, they can have a bowl of sausages, dog ice cream, stuff like that, and always get attention, a couple of treats. It's really nice. Yeah,
we were laughing on the way in because we saw the ice cream for dogs, so we were like, oh, great, this must be the place.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So you've also got a really, really like extensive dessert menu as well, and what are the kind of things that you've got on there, and what was the kind of decision behind choosing them?
So with our desserts, we try and keep it rotating quite often. We'll try and have like some fresh, exciting stuff. Usually try and get some homemade stuff on there as much as we can. So we'll normally have like some cheesecakes, which would be really nice. We've got like the simple chocolate fudge cake, apple pie, that sort of stuff. Like all the pub classics, as well as like getting some exciting stuff in. We've had like donut ice cream sandwiches, which have been amazing. We'll get waffles and stuff like that in, Belgian waffles. It's amazing. So we try and keep the desserts as exciting as the main menu, but it's quite hard to do. So
it's great. I mean, in terms of like the chef as well, is it just like, have you got one chef, or have you got several people working behind the kitchen?
Yeah, I think 7's probably about right, actually.
7.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 chefs, as well as like some kitchen porters and stuff like that as well. So
wow.
yeah,
Serious business.
With us being open sort of 12 till 10 every day, apart from Sunday evenings. Yeah, it's really popular. There's a lot of hours they're having to go through. So yeah, it's good. Without just working one person to the bone. It's nice to sort of spread it out. And a lot of them are all up, like experts in different things. So we have the one chef, Amy, she's amazing with desserts. So we sort of mostly leave that in her sort of thing. Liam, he's not vegan, and he's got like that sort of experience with real food, with like making, just amazing food.
Does it kind of help having him though? Because, you know, especially with the meat side of things, when you're trying to kind of replicate a flavour and to have, you know, because if you haven't eaten it for 4 years or whatever, you kind of forget, don't you? Whereas if you've got somebody there who's eating that in their spare time, does it help having them there to kind of recreate the flavours? And
yeah, definitely. Like I might think, oh my God, this tastes exactly like the real thing. Like this is amazing. He'll try it and say, it's not quite right. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then he'll do whatever he does and he'll like improve it even more. And I'm like, yeah, that does taste like weirdly similar. Like, that's amazing. So he does a lot of the curries and stuff like that, and yeah, they're amazing.
Brilliant. I mean, so you're doing really, really well, obviously. In the next sort of 5 to 10 years, like where do you kind of see the Queen's Inn going, and what would you like to be doing in the future as well?
So I think a lot of people, I'm going to try and shut this off as quickly as I can. A lot of people want to sort of branch out and go to like other different spots around the UK and stuff like that, which would be like really cool. But we're just so busy here. Like I don't think that's ever going to be an option. So ideally, I just want to help other places going vegan and making that sort of jump, being a successful vegan restaurant and stuff like that. I just want to see it be able to grow without it all being on us, sort of thing. So I'd love to see other places copy us almost, but yeah, with our support and stuff like that, I think it'd be really cool to see other places popping up similar.
Brilliant. Do you think that's something that's likely to happen as well, you know, in our lifetimes in the next sort of 10, 20 years?
Oh, I have nothing but faith,
yeah.
I'm certain it will. Like, veganism's only growing. We're seeing so many people with demand for this sort of stuff, so eventually there's going to be enough places popping up, I'm sure.
What about, do you see like a generational shift? You know, do you see a lot more young people more open to it, or do you find that it's actually older people who are kind of like learning about it, or?
Yeah, so I don't want to give wrong answers, but I think it's something like 25% of 18 to 24-year-olds are vegetarian or vegan or something like that, which is outrageous. Like, that's really cool. So in 10 years' time, those might be 50% vegan, veggie or something like that. And then what would those following 18-year-olds be? Like, I think it's only growing with the younger generation. So it's really exciting to see sort of younger people coming through and being so open to plant-based meats and this sort of way of thinking. It's quite a traditional thing to eat animals, and like that's kind of the way a lot of the 60-plus-year-olds think, is that, oh, we've always done it, so that's the way it's going to be. So there's no change in some people's minds, but we still have quite a fair share of older people coming in that have so much love and respect for what we do. So
that's brilliant.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, and I guess you're leading the way as well, and especially in Wales as well. It's like so amazing to be recognised in such a short space of time.
Yeah, it is amazing. It is quite surprising. We do still have quite a few people that don't even know about us, from like 10, 15 minutes away, won't know that we're vegan or will have never heard about us, sort of thing. So yeah, it's quite weird to have like that sort of thing. But then we also have fans in Brazil, Australia, America, stuff like that. Like, people follow us on Instagram, they'll be commenting stuff like, can't wait to visit from America. Like, well,
it's crazy, right?
So absurd. Yeah, for some little place in a town in Wales. Like, yeah.
That's really brilliant. Nice. It's great.
And then back 3 years ago, no one had heard about us. No one knew we were outside of 10 minutes away.
Oh, so Ryan, I mean, we're driving in and it's absolutely gorgeous around here. Can you just tell people like where in Wales you are, like what it's like around here, and why they should come, basically? Yeah,
so Cwmbran is sort of a small town just outside of Newport, population of like 50,000, something like that. We're about 10 minutes from Newport, half hour from Cardiff, 45 minutes from Bristol. Set in quite a rural little town, among the mountains, right in a valley. We've got some beautiful views around the pub, stuff like that, so you can like sit out in the garden. The views are amazing. We've got some ducks outside with the stream running through. It's beautiful. I really love the location. it's the place that I've always known. So for 20 years of my life, this has just been home to me, and it's really, really sweet. I kind of don't realise how lucky I am with like the location and stuff, but yeah, stunning. So many people are amazed with it when they come here and so supportive of it, and yeah, I love seeing the ducks.
So, I mean, you mentioned earlier as well that you wanted to kind of almost be a consultant, and you know, you're in a great position to be able to offer help to other restaurants and even cafes and things that are considering, you know, their vegan menu. And I know for a lot of them, it's probably going to be quite hard to think, oh God, we can't go.
It's quite daunting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're working with Viva as well, aren't you, for the 50 by 25 campaign to get 50% of a vegan menu by 2025 in all sort of restaurants. I mean, do you think that's kind of a good way in for a lot of places?
Yeah, I think it's quite achievable for a lot of places. I think having a 50% plant-based menu by, 20 months away sort of thing, that's surely doable for a lot of places. We're not telling them to go completely vegan. That would be a great long-term goal, but I think 50% is very achievable, and they should be able to see the environmental aspects. I think for a lot of restaurants, they won't really care, I guess, about the animals and stuff like that. They won't want to have vegan options for the animals, but for the environment, stuff like that, I think it's such a hot topic at the moment. Literally, I think it's it's a good thing to encourage restaurants to go a bit more plant-based.
And I mean, for you've literally led the Queen's Inn through this new menu, and it's doing so well.
Yeah.
I mean, are you open to chatting to other restaurants and cafes and things to help them out? And
yeah, always. I've helped a couple of restaurants with having vegan options on the menu. I would love to support places with going fully vegan. Like, I'd happily go somewhere for a couple of days to work with them for like every single day straight. Unpaid, obviously. I'd just love to see other places going fully vegan. It's amazing. There's one place up in the north of England called Beck Hall, which is a fully vegan hotel. And my parents have been there. I sent them up there for a Christmas present, and what they're doing is amazing.
Oh, good.
And I sort of messaged them supporting when they first announced they were going vegan. I messaged them saying like, this is amazing. Like, seriously, thank you so much for what you're doing. Like, it's going to be an awesome move. I promise you it'll be worth it. Stuff like that. And they said like, what we're doing was a huge inspiration for it.
Oh, brilliant.
And reading that was like so good, so worthwhile. And I'd love that to affect other places. And surely a lot of other restaurants and hotels and stuff should be able to see what we're doing, what Beck Hall's doing, and sort of realise the jump that we've made, the jump they've made, has made us both so much more popular.
Yeah.
Like, even though you're technically cutting off so much of your clientele, it's opening it up to so many more. Like, vegans will travel hours to come and support what you do, but also the meat eaters will still support what you do anyway. If they genuinely care about your business, they'll want to see you do well.
And a lot of meat eaters are curious, aren't they? I mean,
exactly.
You know, they're not all like, oh, we hate this. You know, a lot of them are just like, oh, what's going on there? And let's try it and see how it compares. And
just need a bit more information with that sort of stuff. Like, there are a fair share of meat eaters that'll just shut it down instantly and just say, no, it's disgusting. I'm never going to eat this plant-based rubbish. But yeah, with enough information, they do understand it. Nice.
What I love as well, because I'm from the Northeast originally, you know, and a lot of the time, I mean, I moved down to London when I was like 18, 19. Nice. Yeah. And because one of the reasons back in those days was that I felt like there wasn't a lot in the North, you know, and everything, all the money goes into like London, doesn't it, in the South? Exactly. And it's like there is a North-South divide. Yeah. And Wales sees that too, you know, even though you're South, in my opinion. Yeah. It's very much cut off in a way.
Yeah, big time.
So I love the fact that, you know, like Beck Hall, like yourselves, and like places in areas that are often just overlooked and ignored are actually the ones who are doing, you know, they're competing with a place like Brighton or like Bristol's doing well as well. But
smashing it,
yeah, and it's great to see that there are other pockets now in other regions. Yeah. Because it's not all about London, and exactly. And it's great that that's, you know, that it's happening, and it shows that people are willing and want to give it a go. It's just that previously it hasn't always, like, the funding or things haven't really been available. So
yeah, I think with technically the South, the Bristol, the London, Brighton, stuff like that, they're slightly more like younger sort of cities. They're more like open to new things, a bit more multicultural sort of thing. Whereas places like most of Wales, up the north and stuff like that, is more old people sort of set in their ways kind of thing. But I think with enough support, there are going to be more changes like this.
Yeah.
It should be nice.
That's great, I think.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is like you say, people are open to it, and
yeah.
you know, when it's there, they're like, oh yeah, this is all right, actually, I like this. And
yeah, it's nowhere near as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
It isn't cardboard.
And that's the best you can hope for.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
This is better than I thought. No, that's great. So, okay, so Ryan, let's like ask some daft questions now. If it's you're on death row or having some sort of Jesus complex Last Supper sort of thing, if you're having like one final meal, starter, main, dessert, what would it be?
I feel quite biased just saying everything from here.
It's excellent marketing.
Yeah. But like, yeah, our crispy chili beef's insane. Like, it's hard to find something better than that anyway. So personally, I'd have to say that. The steaks.
Yeah.
The redefined meat or juicy marble steak is insane. As a dessert, like a tiramisu. I love a tiramisu.
Nice.
Profiteroles. I want to get vegan profiteroles somewhere.
Yeah.
Desperate to get them. Like I would love to have vegan profiteroles. I've tried making them. Shit.
Yeah.
Terrible. They're really bad. But yeah, if we can get vegan profiteroles, that would be a game changer for me. I do want to give a bit of a shout out. There is a place up in Worcester called Reishi, and their food is insane. Like, I went there a couple of months back, and yeah, such good food. So like, if I had to choose a place that wasn't here, I'd have to go to Reishi because like their food is outstanding. So
what kind of foods do they do? And
it's, I wouldn't say fine dining, but it's just a lot of thought goes into their food. So like as a starter, they had like a Hasselback courgette, like loads of flavour through it. It was stunning. Their mains are all like, so much thought goes into everything they do. Like, no disrespect to what we do, we just do very normal, traditional sort of pub food, whereas they are like, they're kind of like geniuses for their food. Like what they do is amazing, and their staff are also young. I think when I was up there, they said that their like pastry chef was only 17.
Oh wow!
Something like that, and just incredible. So I think they're going to come on leaps and bounds with what they're doing.
Brilliant, that's great. If you could invite anybody to come to the Queen's Inn to have food, living, dead, even dictators, who would it be and why?
One that I would love to have here would be Oli Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon. Like, he's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Sam Carter as well from Architects. They're both awesome, and they both have like pretty strong opinions on veganism. They are like both amazing in what they do, as well as really cool guys.
Yeah, they are.
So yeah, the two of them are awesome. Yeah.
I love that Sam and like Ollie for ages have been sort of flying the veganism flag as well, and you know Sam especially is like really aligned with like Sea Shepherd and Wonder Dog, and you know he's great, isn't he?
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of love for what he's doing. It's really nice. Ollie's got a vegan restaurant up in Sheffield as well, called Temple of Fun, and going there if we're ever like within an hour of Sheffield, me and my girlfriend always try and go there, and just it's amazing. So cool. The vibe, everything is.
I mean, Ollie's very artistic, isn't he? He's like, you know, with all his drop dead clothing and everything, he's always been very just excellent to whatever he sets his mind to, really.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. I love his drop dead stuff, music, the restaurant, everything is incredible. I don't want to be, don't want to dream about him too much, but he's amazing.
He's very handsome. You can dream about one.
Yeah, he is a very handsome guy. I'll give him that.
Wicked. That's great then. Thank you so much for chatting to us. We'll end on that one.
No problem. Nice,
Ryan's love letter to Oli Sykes. Thank you so much for having us today and for food. It was amazing.
Good.
Like
really glad you enjoyed.
Really good.
Thanks
Loved
so much.
it. Thank you.